Hello and welcome to another episode of Your Guitar Tutorials. Today I'm going to be helping you understand how you can play any chord on the guitar. So let's pick it up right at the beginning where you need to understand that there's a difference between chords, and I guess that there's pretty much two types of chords. There's chords that use the open strings on the guitar and help you play it a lot easier. So let's take the A for example. You only use really 3 strings and it utilizes a lot of the other strings that are open to play that A. And it's a little bit easier than having to use the dreaded bar chords. But I've done a tutorial, and if you haven't seen that tutorial, you can go ahead and watch it here on how to play bar chords a little bit easier. And to be able to play pretty much any chord, you need to really have a good idea of bar chords and how bar chords are structured. And if you can understand the shape of the minor 7s and the 7s, then you can really understand how to play virtually any chord on the guitar. So let's pick it up here on the E string. So let's start with the F. I'm going to start low on the neck and then we'll work our way up. Now you can change the shape of this F by leaving all of your bar, which you're using with your index finger there on the 1st fret, by just leaving it there. And you're going to change what you're doing with your middle, your ring, and your index finger. To play a chord like an F minor, you really just need to remove 1 finger. So you know the major, you've practiced the F major, now you want to learn the F minor. To learn that, you just need to lose your middle finger. Now I don't mean you don't need to go chop off your middle finger, you just need to remove it. So remove your middle finger, and now you could see how your index finger has stayed the same, and just the shape that you're making underneath your index finger has changed. The F7 is just a little different formation, just like the F minor from the F major. So an F7 looks like this. So it's just memorizing the shape underneath what you're barring. So let's move on from the F7 to the F minor 7. Some of these chords will come up in like a jazzier type tune, like some Bruno Mars songs use minor 7ths, and it could be a little hard to understand how to play that or where that note is on the guitar. So an F minor 7 is actually a very simple chord, and underneath what you're barring, you're really only playing 1 note. It is a very simple chord, and it looks like a very, oh my gosh, what is an F minor 7? How in the world could I possibly play that? It's very simple. And it's like this all the way up the guitar. And so if you have a good understanding of how whole steps and half steps work, it's very simple to know all of the notes from the E string all the way up to the 12th fret, where the E string or the octave repeats itself. 0, we should all know this, is an E. When you're tuning guitar, you could tune your guitar 0 to an E. But when you put your finger on the 1st fret, you're changing the pitch and you're raising it. So in the alphabet, we go A, B, C, D, E, F. And that note is an F. But it gets very tricky because sometimes there's an F sharp within these steps. Sometimes there's G sharp. But it's very simple. All you do is remember between the E and the F and the B and the C, there is no sharp. They go right to each other. So the E goes right to the F, but the F does not go right to the G. There's a little half tone in there. It goes from F to F sharp to G sharp to A to B flat or A sharp to B. And here's again where there's nothing in the middle. It goes right from B to C. From C to C sharp, from D to D sharp or E flat to E. Now it repeats itself. There's nothing in between the E and the F. It goes straight from E to F. So if you can memorize this, you just need to take what you've learned here on the F string and move it up along all of these frets. The 3rd fret is the G, the 5th fret is the A, and just continue to go up. And just make the same shapes that you're using on the 1st fret and move them up the guitar. And now that is the E string. Now, you might not want to have to move your fingers really fast up and down the E string to try and play these super fast. So to make it a little bit easier, if you're going from a G to a C, you need to utilize the A string. So if you're playing a G7 and you have to play a C7, you can move fairly quickly from the G to the C rather than having to slide your fingers all the way up higher on the E string. So let's talk about a little bit about the shapes that we're making, or the what our finger placement underneath what we're barring as it goes with the A string. We're going to start with the B flat this time. It's 1 on the A string. It's a B flat because, again, it's the same thing. 0 is A, 1 is A sharp or B flat. So a B flat is 1, 3, 3, 3, 1. How most musicians really play these chords, though, they don't typically play that E string. If you're going to play a B, they're going to just play a bar chord and play 1, 3, 3. This is what the B flat minor looks like. B flat minor 7 looks like this. Your index is really responsible for playing that root note. So if it's an F, you got to find that F. It's a B flat, you got to find that B flat with your index finger. And the rest of your middle, ring, and pinky are responsible for playing whether it's a minor, a major, or a 7th chord. And if you can understand how that looks under your index finger, you can have a very good understanding of how to play any chord along the entire neck of the guitar. So we're going to take what we've learned here on the A string and incorporate that up the neck as well. From the B flat to the B, there's nothing in between the B and the C. From the B to the C sharp, to the D at the 5th fret, to D sharp, to E. There's nothing between E and F, and you continue up all the way to the A string as well. So memorize these. I'm going to have a chart here in the document as well in the description. Download it, print it up, and you can always have it, and you'll always know how to play whatever chord you want on that guitar. Thanks so much for watching this video. And remember, this is your guitar tutorials. Any questions you might have, make sure to put in the comment section below so I can read what you're struggling with and make some more videos geared towards what you guys want. Remember to make sure to like and subscribe if you want more Your Guitar Tutorials.